Hello, Nicolino FM here under my infamous flight of stairs. I welcome you to Boys to Men, my new FM21 adventure where I will try to take Swedish team Brommapojkarna from the third tier of Swedish football to the Champions League trophy. We are still very much in the pre-season because this seemed to be the longest pre-season ever, and today we will focus on scouting and recruitment. Here we go. So recruitment it is. We have so far gone through the DNA portion and the tactics portion of the strategy, and today we will look at scouting and recruitment. The idea is that we will rely mostly on our youth academy, but we are also allowed to sign players that are aged under 17, and since I'm using a custom database going down to the 6th tier of Swedish football, we have 66 playable teams in the Stockholm area to try to scout and find players from. Most of them are in the lower tiers, which means that we'll probably not be able to find any real gems from them, but at least we will scout them, which will be very much like Brommapojkarna operate in reality, try to find younger players to bring into their own youth academy and then sort of develop them and turn them into professional players. We will try to get that done as well. We have Enskede, who are our affiliate. They seem to have some good facilities as well. We'll try to see if we can use them. And as I said, we will only be allowed to sign under 17 players. And we will only be allowed to sign them for the youth academy. So I cannot take like a Nigerian 17-year-old and sign him for the first team because that's highly unrealistic. We want to see if we can do this using only the youth academy. So I will need to bring in players for the youth academy, develop them there, and then get them into the first team. And when we scout and when we get players in, we will try to get players in that actually fit our DNA that I went through in a previous episode. And I started off with only one sheet scout, but I've been able to sign a few more scouts, and I'll briefly go through how I'm approaching the scouting portion now. When it comes to scouting, we've set up 4 assignments that I'll go through in just a short while, but we've also made a play search view that looks like this, where we focus on 15s and 16-year-olds, which are the players we are allowed to bring in, and we are using this DNA view to try to find players to bring into the academy to strengthen our academy. We've also set up 3 different shortlists, one with under 17 players from Stockholm, one with under 17 players from the rest of Sweden if we get the rare occasion to bring one in. I'm not sure I'm going to do that at all, or I'm going to stick to the Stockholm area thing. And then I'm also set up a short list for former BP Academy players. I'm not filled it yet, but that is so we can keep track of players that have left us to give us the potential to bring them back going forward. I've also asked the board to give me one more scout, and they said yes, so I have a scout ad out to try to get one more in. I've actually managed to bring in 2 scouts, Khaled Badra, Judging Player Ability 11 and Judging Player Potential 11, and also Embo and Pensa. He has 10 in Judging Player Potential and Ability. They both came in from another ad that I did. So let's move on over to the actual scouting assignments that I've set up. I've set up 3 similar, not exactly the same, but similar assignments where we are looking at the DNA attributes of our players. First touch, passing technique for the technical ones, anticipation, composure, decisions, determination of the ball, teamwork and vision for the mentals, and acceleration and agility for the physicals. And then we are looking for 15, 16 and 17-year-olds. Our chief scout, Tommy Söderström, will look all over Sweden, sort of without looking at any competitions, and the other 2 will be looking at the 1st, 2nd and 3rd for Khaled Badra, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th tier for Embo and Pensa to try to bring me scout reports of promising 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. The transfer deadline has come and gone, and we've not signed a single player, and we've not let a single player go or sold a single player yet. So not a lot happening on that front, but we are very much still in pre-season. A little more than 2 months away from the actual league start. We are trying to find a way tactically moving forward. We are trying different things to try to get that sort of football that I'm looking for. Tinkering from game to game. We are playing teams from our tier or a tier above or a tier below. So we are trying to find basically fairly even match teams to try out how good the tactic actually works in the upcoming division we are going to play in. So there's no need to play pub teams to strengthen morale, and there's no need to go play like European teams and get crushed. So we are trying to find a tactic that looks the way I want it to look and also produces results. So if we look so far, we struggled in the beginning, but then we have changed stuff up a bit with 4 straight wins. None of them have been excellent, but at least we've been winning, and we are getting closer and closer, I think, to what we actually want. So this is what we are going with at the moment. A 4-3-3 with a sort of flat midfield, but the deep line playmaker is supposed to drop a bit going down into this hole, and the deep line forward is also meant to drop down, and then we are trying to find these channels on the outside with overlapping wing backs and the advanced forwards moving slightly out to the wings to see if we can get that movement and that sort of passing that we are looking for. So today we are playing IF Brommapojkarna, who are actually in our league this season, so this will be a fairly good measure of how we perform and how we look against them. An early chance perhaps, or is this just going to run out into nothing? We will see. Arvidsson with the ball finds Amadeus Sörgård, and he makes it 1-0 for us, but I think it's offside. He's offside. Okay. He's offside. By a margin, by a lot. Oh, by an arm, I think. So now the game is properly on. Chance for us. Statistically, we've been looking slightly better so far with 1 shot on target. Not a lot happening. They are playing a 4-2-3-1, but I think we are supposed to be the better team. A bit of a longer ball. I don't really love those longer balls, but I like that one. Jardel Kanga, the 14-year-old wonder kid, gets a chance, but he misses. He's not been clinical, but I like the movement that he possesses. So I have high hopes in him, and he's actually improved a bit for the first 2 months too. There we go, 1-0 up. Haglund, our star player, our experienced leader. Nice crossing there, and a nice finish from him. Jardel Kanga finds Haglund. He almost crashes into Falenius, but we are 1-0 up. Let's see if we can see any more of that build-up play that I like to see if we are managing to emulate the sort of line-up play I want to see. Here they come. Can we win this and counter on them maybe? Corner for them. So as I said in the last episode, the results are not really that important. I just want to see us play decent football. But of course, I'd like us to actually win, because ineffective, beautiful football isn't going to get us promoted, and promotion is a must, I think, if I'm going to keep this job and keep the dream of getting Brommapojkarna from the 3rd tier of Swedish football to Champions League alive. Bit of pinball, very close to scoring there. We are looking much better than they are, at least statistically, even though we've not seen too many chances so far. Approaching half-time. 7 shots, 4 on target against their 5 shots and 3 on target. A corner for us. Arvidsson swings it in. Falenius is there, and there's a penalty. Who's going to take it? Is it Arvidsson? Arvidsson steps up, and he scores. Lovely goal for Jesper Arvidsson. The keeper dives in the right direction, but we go 2-0 up. Perfect morale boost before the half time, and we have been the better team. Let's tell the players that this is what we want, and we're off for the second half. I'd like to see a little bit more of our build-up play to see what we look like going forward. In defense, we look solid, at least against this type of opposition. Falenius, back to Falenius. I like these 1-2s. Gets it into the box. No finish, but I like that sort of out in sort of play. Arvidsson, Salman Magnusson, the captain, and that's not even a highlight. A little bit disappointing. Here we get the ball again. Falenius with it. Gets it away. We keep it. I don't like these long balls. I don't like these long balls. Let's see if I can tinker anything with the tactics. We can go attacking, and then I'll go even shorter with the passing to see if that makes a difference for us. Haglund, Sven-Len, Arvidsson, out to Wallenborg. Can we get the ball in? Decent, not the best cross, or if that was a shot, but I like that line of play as well. I don't like these long hoofy balls. Bit of miscommunication there, but we sorted it out. I don't like these long balls. I've said to them that I want them to distribute to the central defender or the wing backs, but he keeps hoofing it long anyway. I know that I have the distributed centre backs and full backs in, yeah. So I'm not sure why he keeps doing those long balls. So we are not getting overrun outside of the midfield trio. They are actually moving out in the direction towards the opponents when we are in defense, which I like. That was a bit of a concern for me that we didn't have the defensive width, but they seem to be sorting it out anyway. So decent result. I think we looked a little better when we shortened the passing. That could be a thing to go forward with. And there we go. A cross in from a dead ball though, and another goal from Haglund. 3-0 up, which is a good result. And I think this is something to build on. I could go more restrictive when it comes to the passing, tell them to dribble less, but I also want them to break the pattern from time to time. Oh, a cheeky back heel there to start it off. And here we see play pattern. I don't like that ball. I don't like that ball at all. I don't know why he plays that. If it's because he is a poor decision-making player, or why he does that. Maybe it's because he's a ball-playing defender that he does that. It's supposed to take a little bit more risk. Maybe I need to take that off. So the defenders only use the short option all the time. That's something to look into as well. Because I don't like that long ball from the back line up to the forwards. It usually doesn't amount to anything, and that's not the type of football we want to play. So 5 minutes left, an emphatic win. I was going to say we're going to have 3 points in the books, but we're not, because this is a friendly. But another step towards the sort of football we want to play. I am fairly happy with the way this looked, even though I will try to erase those long balls over the top. Nice TV save from Olsson there. Yeah, these are the balls I don't like one bit. I don't like them one bit. We'll need to look why they're doing that. Perhaps I need to click in to roll it out. Maybe that will help us there. Because I don't want the keeper to hoof those long balls, and I don't want the defenders to do that either. So a 3-0 win, statistically decent. We didn't make any changes, which means that I'll rotate the team for the next game. But we were good. This 4-3-3 is promising. I'm not set on it yet, but it looks promising. We go through April, and I will be back in May for the Acropolis game, and in that game we will also look at the training how we are preparing the players and how we are trying to get the best out of them to turn them from boys to men. I will see you next time. Bye.